Hi everyone, this is the Successful Surf Club series providing information designed to share knowledge and expertise with club leaders and aspiring leaders to drive surf clubs forward. I'm your host Alex. Today we welcome our guest speaker Dana Craven. She is the CTO or Chief Training Officer at Alexandra Headland's Surf Lifesaving Club, which is actually one of our largest clubs in Queensland for members. She's also the current Sunshine Coast Branch Director of Education. And today's episode is on the role of a training officer to shed the light on all that the CTO does, the things that you don't see or may not be aware that they do, and to help recruit more members to consider training as part of your pathway journey and to help the leadership of your club look to identify prospective future trainers. Hi, Dana.
Hello.
Sorry, that was a bit of a big intro.
That's okay.
No pressure.
Good to see you.
Yeah, you too. We'll leap straight into it and I suppose explain as best you can what does the CTO role encompass and what does that look like at a big surf club like Alex?
Sure. So typically a CTO would have a certificate for in training and assessment and a good understanding of policies and regulations all around training. So our main focus as the CTO is overseeing and implementing training and education for club members, both new and existing. So that's a big job because we're trying to get new members on board. We've got existing members that we're upskilling and working with all members in the club. We also need to ensure that the courses that we deliver align with the club's needs, obviously, operationally, but we also need to meet the standards that are set down by both SLSA and SLSQ. So there's quite a lot of compliance and things that we need to do as well.
Sounds a little bit scary, but I'm sure it's not.
Yeah, you just really need to know your stuff. So at a big club, and I know it's different in a smaller club, the CTO might be doing a lot of the training, but at a big club, I think it's more about coordinating the training rather than being the person standing on the beach always delivering the training. So I do obviously need to maintain currency on all the courses and how they're delivered, how they're assessed and how they're processed. But it's about building a team of trainers, assessors, facilitators, which is what we call TAF.
Yep.
Our endorsed delegates, so people that can help out with training, subject matter experts, and really knowing who you can rely on in the club and build that team, because running a successful course requires so much planning and organisation. There's a lot of resources, and you just got to have those great working relationships with the members and also the staff in our club, at branch, state, nationally. It's really good. So yeah.
Absolutely, because obviously your admin staff are there to help you with the administrative tasks, making sure that people are current, all of those things in terms of being able to deliver the awards and the training requirements for a club your size. So you've got somewhere in the vicinity of about 400 active patrolling members, give or take.
Yes,
which is pretty big.
And
I heard a scary story the other day that you got about 650 nippers last season.
Yes, it's huge. So it's massive.
Yep.
So there's a lot that we're across in training because we're across all those pillars of life-saving, not just life-saving, but junior activities, the nippers and the surf sports. So yeah.
Yeah, cool.
So I'd say it's just about teamwork, really, Alex. It's about not just with our TAF, but the admin, content experts, everybody. Just,
making sure everybody's on the right page. I suppose the planning aspects of that, how do you deliver that? Do you work to a calendar? Do you plan well ahead in terms of your calendar? And how is that visible to everybody?
The calendar, I think everyone out there who's in training land would agree with me, is probably one of the most challenging things to do because, especially at our club, because we're busy. We're a big active club. We host a lot of events. So it's all about having those conversations and looking ahead. I try not to now. I'm going into my 5th season as CTO at Alex, so I'm getting a little bit wiser, not getting too ahead of ourselves. So we start to look at the season at the start and go, right, our big thing to get done is skills maintenance, which is our annual proficiencies, trying to get that out of the way, and then looking forward of where people need training and courses and looking where we can slot it in. So you learn pretty quickly that you can't run a bronze on a nipper Sunday. There's no real estate. It's just crazy. So just, working with everyone. So that's tricky. The calendar's really, really tricky, but being flexible, not being afraid to try different formats and approaches, as well as sort of splitting courses up, I find really, really helpful. Yeah.
And doing some of those compressed courses for some of those junior kids in that 14, 15, when they're moving either to SRC or bronze, once they turn 15 is always a bit of a challenge, but trying to get that jammed in before surf sport season kicks in as well.
Yeah, so it's and trying to getting stuff done in the school holidays really helps, and opening up those opportunities. We have the SRC to bronze transition course now, which really makes it easy too. And we can actually run our courses all together. I can run SRC and bronze at the same time, and then transition into bronze can step in, so people can step in and out of courses, and that's really helping a lot too.
Yeah, that flexibility now with the courses is much better than when I was doing it.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
exactly.
Come a long way.
We have. What should somebody? I suppose we're looking at skills, but what should somebody consider in terms of applying for the role, or even being involved as an endorsed delegate at TAF, or any of those other roles associated with training?
Yeah.
What are you looking for, I suppose?
Lots of different things, because I look at the team as a whole, and it's about having the right skill set, obviously, and having that knowledge and desire to want to train, and having a bit of experience. So I think the big thing is knowing that you don't have to do it all, both as CTO, trainer, or assessor or facilitator. And just it's all about communication, having chats with people, and just making sure that people understand that there's lots of different ways that you can be involved. And for me, it's about finding the right people that I can rely on, because a lot of people want to be involved, but then they don't want to commit as well. That's definitely
part of the whole surf lifesaving community is, I want to be involved, but then if I get too involved, all of a sudden I'm chief training officer, or somebody, I go to the bathroom when they're voting for president of the surf or something.
Yeah, you don't want that to happen. So I think it's all about the team for me, and having the right people and just supporting the team. And everyone wants to be in the team because we have such a great time. And that's one of the biggest things I'm quite proud of at Alex, is we've probably got the biggest training team that we've ever had. And that's great. And we get together at the start of the season, we work out what we're doing, and I just let people know what they want to do. And then for me, it's about supporting them on their journey, and working it that way.
No, that's fantastic. I suppose any of the subject matter experts can approach you to be involved, and that's key and critical. So if you've got somebody that's an expert on the board, or somebody that's an expert on swimmer and can teach tube and things like that, those are all the value adds that people can bring.
100%, and that's really important. And the way that we manage that too is, for every course now we have a lead trainer. So that person's ultimately in charge, and all the questions and everything comes to that person, so they can direct the subject matter experts and everyone and say, right, this is what we're doing, and keeping people helping, but also making sure that we're maintaining standards and that it's quality. It's great.
And I suppose in the last few years, you've also seen some changes. And look, I've been around for 20 odd years, so I've seen a lot of changes from the old, the blue book way back.
The old blue. Everyone knows what the blue book is. The PSAR now,
None of the 15-year-olds know what a blue book was.
No.
So, and moving to the current Accelerate system, and the changes that are made and the benefits that's providing. I know that there's still some additional work that they're doing in that space as well, just to make life easier for everybody as well. Put a little more onus on the participants to be across all of their training requirements as well. So, how did you find that transitional process? I know we've had some changes. It has been a challenge, but are we moving in the right direction?
We are absolutely moving in the right direction, of course. And online learning and this sort of flipped way of doing it, you're doing all your theory at home in your own time, and then it frees up that time to come to the beach where we can focus on the practical application, which is great. But in saying that, we still need to support the learners, our members coming through, because there's this big assumption that everybody has a level of digital literacy and can jump onto a computer and do things. So a lot of it is setting people up for success and helping them navigate the systems. And and supporting them that way as well. But it's really good because it does free it up and people can come back and forth and learn at their own time. And we can link that online theory to what we do at the beach. And it just gives a better learning experience overall.
Yes.
I think it helped for me when I took on the role, because that change all sort of happened when I took on the CTO role, is having a good, strong technical background and drawing on my professional experience really helped with that transition. One thing that I like to do is ensure that we communicate everything to members signing up for courses so they know what to do, offering support. I create a lot of cheat sheets, simple step-by-step PDFs for people to refer to, which I find really helps as well.
And all those little workarounds and those things are things that you learn through time. You're obviously also the branch director of education, which is again another big step up. Well, it's another half a dozen meetings a year plus.
True. But we love it.
Exactly. And obviously from a education perspective, your key focus is about driving education across the branch and across the state to the best capacity. How do you look at planning for your succession processes? So getting more people involved and working through that process. What are you looking at, or what do you do, and how do you do that?
Again, another big challenge, because people sort of think, oh, it is all those extra meetings and taking things on. So to me, like, one of the core is building relationships. And I think that's something we're doing really well, especially here on the Sunshine Coast, because our CTOs get together, we know each other. And then it's just having chats to people and working out who wants to step up and do things. So I'll be stepping down from the branch role this season, and I've got a successor coming through. And it's all about, I'm still here, I'm not stepping away, I'm there with you, and just offering that support ongoing as well, because I think we're all in it for the right reasons, and it's genuine. So identifying people early and just supporting them if they're keen to step forward. It's the same with the CTO role. And just, I think my big mantra is, look, just know you don't have to do it all yourself. It's about building those networks and reaching out, because people are generally happy to help and support you.
As long as you structure that help process and say, I only need you to do A, B, and C. But you're not doing everything down to Z. So I do. It's about sharing that challenge with people who can take up those little challenges and spreading that love. I think it's very clear that what we need to engage with our members is about how they move through the process, through their pathway journey. And look at leadership as not somewhere that is onerous and really difficult, and oh my God, all of a sudden I'm responsible for a whole bunch of other stuff. You're actually sharing that with a whole bunch of other people that are like-minded as well.
Absolutely. It's not about leading over people, it's leading with people, and it's just we're all on the same page. And I find that approach really, really good. Fantastic.
Well, Dana, it's been great. Thank you for your time and giving up your time. It's been fantastic to talk to you. I think as a takeaway, we encourage people to communicate and talk to their CTOs about being involved. I think we need to encourage people to look at leadership roles, as part of their pathway journeys and pathway discussions. But I think it's very clear for our leaders to also be looking at how they succession plan their roles. The worst part of everything that we do in volunteer life, unfortunately, is sometimes about burnout as well, which we want to limit.
100%.
Yeah. And make sure.
Can I just add on that?
Yep, go for it.
Sorry, just talking over you there. I would add on that, what's really important, what really helps me, is knowing your values and even writing your values down, because every decision you make then hinges off those values. They direct you. So it kind of gives you that clarity. You don't have to do it all. Know your boundaries and just stay within that. What could go wrong?
Exactly. Share the journey with other people.
Yeah.
And that's whether you're a big club or a little club. I know the little clubs have their own challenges, in number of people involved and all that sort of stuff. But it is, again, sharing that journey with other people. So
absolutely.
Dana, it's been great. thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Really do appreciate it. And we'll see you soon on the beach.
Lovely.
Cheers.
Thanks. Bye.